My name is Efe Kelemci. I'm from Turkey. I've been in the UAE since I was a year old, and I'm in the NAS family for the past 6 years. So yeah, now I'm known in the UAE as the crypto kid, and it was an adventure that started when I was 12. But actually, if you go back, it goes to when I was a much younger kid. During the pandemic, I was super bored, and apart from school, I was super into finance. I was starting to make some pocket change from voice acting, and I was begging my dad to start giving me a credit card and open me a bank account. And while researching that, I came across something called cryptocurrencies. I was on YouTube, and a man by the name of Viral Pal made a video saying that Ethereum is going to $20,000 by the end of the year. At the time, Ethereum was $700. So it was like, what? If I put my money in this, I'm going to make 10x of what I have. Now, I told my dad straight after, and he said, no, this is a scam. And I had to somehow convince him because my dad was the only way I could put my money into this. So I researched for many months. This was 2020, trying to understand blockchain technology, trying to understand what different cryptocurrencies were. And ultimately, when I studied the financial system and how money was created, I came to the conclusion that Bitcoin is going to be something revolutionary. So in early 2021, I came up to my dad and I said, Dad, this is going to change the world. And I gave him a pitch, right? And he said, okay, I believe in you. You can take the $1,000 you have and invest it the way you want. And I started in summer of 2021. And in September, I came back to Dubai and I started watching a couple of crypto influencers who do technical analysis give a prediction on where prices are going to go and give reasoning behind to that. Now, I really wanted to pursue theater and acting in some way. And what NAS has taught me has always been to be ambitious, right? And don't let age be a barrier for your success, because no matter who you are, where you are, you can follow your dreams and make it a reality. And in 2021, September, I was watching the guy who bought Bitcoin at $1. And he said, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, I have a meetup. If you're in Dubai, attend. And I went to my mom and I was like, Mom, I really want to go to this conference. I was 13 or 14 at the time. And she said, nobody's going to listen to you. Why do you want to go? And I said, look, I'll go. I'll see what happens. Maybe I meet someone and I can learn something. So the next day, I took a cab. I went to the conference area. I was by far the youngest person. And when they asked the question during the meetup, they said, how did you start crypto? And I mentioned that I started when I was 12. Everyone was shocked. And from that conference onwards, I was able to meet everyone that I followed and everybody that I looked up to. And because I was young, they were willing to give me the advice on how to be successful like them in the crypto space. I approached all 9 of them. 6 of them said no, but 3 of them did see a spark in me because I was passionate, determined, and young. And the overall message, by the way, and what I'm trying to say is if you're young, you have the ability to take enormous risk. Because if you compare yourself to your parents, to your grandparents, you as a young person in North Anglia, you have an education background that nobody in the world has. And on top of this, your age gives you the opportunity to reach out to anyone who you want to become. And trust me, if you do reach out to them, if you do show that you're a young, intelligent, passionate person, they will do their best to help you. And that's what happened. I reached out to Carl Runefeld, who is my partner right now for CryptoKid, and he believed in me. He gave me his office space, he gave me his team, and he coached me in business, in personal life, and how to become successful just like him. Now, fast forward to 2024, I do what I've always dreamed of doing, which is to speak to an audience, speak to people, and teach them what I know, which is Bitcoin and blockchain with CryptoKid. And I also advise companies in marketing, angel invest into different startups, and travel the world and speak at conferences, all while handling school at the same time. So anything is possible, no matter your age. Don't let other people tell you otherwise, because with hard work, anything can happen. Simply put, cryptocurrency relies on a technology called blockchain. Now, blockchain is a system where there is no trust for a middle person, which can be a bank, it could be an individual, to process a certain transaction. It relies on thousands of different computers around the world to break mathematical code and process a transaction from one block to another until it reaches the end person you're sending money to. For example, a cryptocurrency that is widely used is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin follows the same proof of work mechanism that has all these computers, but maybe that's for another day. Let's say I want to send one Bitcoin to you. When I send this Bitcoin from my wallet to your wallet, I input your wallet address into where I'm sending, and the money is processed through a certain layer of different blocks. It goes through 9 blocks, if I'm not wrong. And for the Bitcoin to pass through these individual blocks, thousands of computers across the world mine these blocks, compete to break this mathematical code so the Bitcoin can go into the next layer of block until it's fully processed, it's authenticated, and it goes to you, the end user. And in exchange, these miners make Bitcoin as a return, so that incentivizes people to go ahead and mine Bitcoin. But in very short summary, it is a way that you can send money to one person or another, or in fact, you can also store your wealth in a way which is unconfiscatable, meaning that no government, no bank can intervene and take this money from you. If you have a certain sum of letters memorized in your head, you can carry $1 billion with you, going through an airport, traveling from border to border, and nobody can question that. And you're freely allowed to use this money. And that's the revolution of cryptocurrency. No matter who you are as a person, what race you are, what religion you believe, what political side you support, you have the right to the freedom of money. Balancing a typical day for me is very tough because with high ambition comes a lot of hard work. And especially if you're young and a kid, it's even tougher in terms of a mental capacity. So usually I wake up 7 o'clock, come to school, finish my classwork to the best of my ability. And after school finishes, I go to my office, finish my crypto work, which would include making a live show, and talking to companies which we would invest in, advising projects on different areas like marketing. And then probably I'm done by 11, 12 a.m. I come back home, sleep, and repeat the entire routine. But the issue comes when I have to go to conferences and evangelize Bitcoin, because I'm usually off for a week or two. But thankfully, NAS has been incredibly supportive in this manner, and I'm happy to represent them anywhere I go, because evangelizing Bitcoin is a part of teaching the world about finance and giving people freedom so that they learn what money is and how to control that money. And apart from education, I believe that is how you liberate a society and make them free. The biggest challenge I've had in the crypto world was being young. And I was going to conferences, trying to pitch people so that they would come on my show, and I would try to invest in companies. But of course, because you're young and you're 13, 14, 15, nobody gives the same sort of respect and trust to you as they would to another individual. But thankfully, I had a lot of people who were big in the space backing me and making those introductions. So I was able to be treated with the same respect. But I think the most important thing lies down to education. If you're well educated, if you have the experience of meeting people in a social environment like classroom and talking to different people from different cultures, which I was blessed to do that in Dubai, then you know exactly how to communicate to someone and make sure that you're respected with the knowledge you have to share. So if you do face that struggle as a young person, the best thing to do is to know what you're doing, provide value to others, because that's what people care about at the end of the day. The biggest takeaway that I had from Nord Anglia, which allowed me to continue to be successful and achieve everything that I did achieve, was by the support of Mr. Cullinan and Mr. Douch. I remember when I was a lot younger, Mr. Cullinan in every single assembly would emphasize that we are change makers, because being a part of the Nord Anglia family, we are actually a part of the top 1%. So the privilege, the opportunities that we have are enough for us to become someone important in this world and make a change. So I think that youth empowerment is a very important topic because what I sense is that kids my age don't have the inspiration to become more than what they are physically and go out of the boundaries of their age. And I was lucky because people believed in me who were older than me, more experienced than me. They believed and they showed me a guideline and I was able to follow that. So something that is a personal passion for me now is to help the same youth who are passionate, talented, and give them direction into achieving those goals that they have and perhaps inspire them to dream bigger. And that's why I've partnered up with the Dubai Blockchain Center to develop programs for the youth, specifically in finance and blockchain. And at NAS Dubai as well, I know a lot of students here are super interested in crypto. And I love taking the time to talk to them and help them in any way possible. But if you're young, dream big, and find the person that you want to become. Find it early because that's the advantage that you will have compared to everyone else. Knowing what you want to do and taking direction and taking a step forward in that. That's going to make you in the top 0.1%. Just to clear things up, I'm 17, so I'm still in secondary, still at NAS Dubai. Apart from the facial hair and the Turkish genetics, it's been tough in business because people judge you by your age, but thanks to looking more mature and speaking more mature, it does open more doors. So there's 3 things I would recommend to any Nord Anglia student. And the first thing that you should definitely work on is your articulation and how you present yourself. The fact is, people judge you by your appearance and by what you tell them. And if you work on how you talk, if you work on how you tell people about yourself and essentially sell you as a business to the people around you, then you will get opportunities being presented. So by working on your articulation, by working on how you speak, your fluency, this will give you a massive head start. The second thing is knowing what you want to do. There's so many people in their 20s, 30s, even 40s, people don't know what they want to do with their lives. And if you, as a 14, 15, 16-year-old, if you know what you want to become, who you want to become, what you want to do, that will give you a big head start compared to everyone else in the world. And with Nord Anglia, you have the privilege, you have the opportunities to pursue those things. So if you know what you want to do, go out there, put yourself out there, and let's say you want to be a producer. Find a producer in your local area, reach out to them, email them, go to Instagram, find their handle, text them. Make sure that you can get experience with the person you want to become, because that life experience, that work experience, will separate you from everyone else in a standardized education system. And the last point, which worked very well for me, was understanding energy. Because in my belief, I found that everything around us, this jacket, this microphone, us included, were all forms of energy. And reality as we see it is just based off of our own perception and our own thoughts. And I read The Law of Attraction. The book that I read is called The Secret, and it really, really changed my life because the way we think, what we say, changes and bends reality. So if you say negative things, if you lack self-belief, if you feel negative, then nothing good will come. You have to think positive. You have to be obsessed with your goals or ambitions. Being obsessed about something will force you to always think good about it, and also the right actions will follow. The roadmap will be laid ahead of you. Think positive, dream your reality, and make it happen. Guys, thank you so much for listening. I wish all of you the best of luck in your journey. And remember, age is not a barrier to success. You, with Nord Anglia, can become anyone you want in this world. And just do good things. Remember that. Be good.